I'm Badley Jonathan, and this is the Primetime Newscast on Equinox Television, live from our headquarters in Cameroon's economic capital. Dwelling our top stories: one person dead and several others injured in a road accident that occurred in Mbanga in the Mongo Division, littoral region of the country. Heavy-duty truck reportedly caused the accident, and trade unionists in the Republic of Cameroon attribute the recurrent strike actions in enterprises across the country to failure by company managers to implement national and international labor laws. They were speaking today in the economic capital, dwell on the sidelines of an awareness and sensitization campaign on conventions of the International Labour Organization ratified by Cameroon. Those were top stories. Thanks for joining us on this edition of the 6 p.m. Primetime Newscast on Equinox Television. A road accident in Banga in the Mongo Division, littoral region of the Republic of Cameroon, has left one person dead and several others injured. A heavy-duty truck reportedly caused the accident, as Innocent Azi reports.
The interurban transport bus belonging to the Manual Voyage was traveling from Chang to Douala.
Ouais, regarde comment les enfants là sont blessés.
This heavy-duty truck, as explained by a passenger in the bus, ran into them and rammed the bus off the highway.
Oh, Luciano, c'est comment?
J'étais en train de rouler, le camion orange est venu se cogner sur nous. Il nous renversait au champ.
One person is feared dead. Some passengers sustained minor injuries. Others came out of the tumbled bus safe. Most of them were filled with panic.
C'est pas moi ce qui s'est passé. Je me souviens que j'ai vu parce que c'est le véhicule là. C'est venu devant nous comme ça. Au lieu d'aller tout droit, ça a braqué comme ça. Directement, nous sommes retrouvés au sol.
Even the driver of the bus came out safe. On the other hand, the driver of the heavy-duty truck was nowhere to be found by the time the accident occurred.
Trade unionists in Cameroon see the lack of political will from government authorities as far as the implementation of national and international labor laws is concerned is the major cause of the many strike actions recorded in enterprises at very close intervals of time across the country. They were speaking to Fomi Armstrong Sanda today on the sidelines of an awareness and sensitization workshop organized by the Ministry of Labour and Social Security on conventions of the International Labour Organization ratified by Cameroon. His report.
The non-respect of the international labor conventions have been identified as one of the major causes of employer-employee problems such as strike actions and low productivity of enterprises in Cameroon. Recurrent accidents at work have also been attributed to failure by company managers to implement the safety approach of both national and international labor laws. Every day in our office, we receive complaints from workers and we struggle to solve them. We summon the both parties and try to arrange amicably in order to get a solution to the problems raised. However, in some parts of Cameroon, stakeholders say the situation is relatively stable due to the multiple sensitization campaigns.
Yes, we do receive complaints from disgruntled workers concerning their working conditions. Some of them, contracts of employment are not being respected by the employer. With intensification of inspection visits on the field, the rate of complaints at the regional level has really dropped.
To further curb the rate of accidents at work and employer-employee problems, the Ministry of Labour and Social Security organized this seminar to sensitize actors in the labor chain. Participants are coming from the littoral, west, northwest and southwest regions.
We realize that some of these companies, foreign companies for example, or employers, I'm not targeting anybody, may not respect the national norms, but the ministry is trying to ensure that the rights of workers are respected. Hello? As you know, there are two conventions that are in the process of being ratified. That is Convention number 144 on tripartite consultations and 155 on health and safety. These are the things that are going to be discussed.
The worker who leaves his house safe and sound should be able to go back to his house safe and sound after executing his contract of employment that day. He should not be facing so many acts or so many illnesses because he was executing his employment in a very untidy or the I will call it indecent environment.
However, trade union leaders present at the seminar say such effort will yield little or no fruit without a corresponding political will from the government.
Cameroon's Minister of Housing and Urban Development, Jean-Claude Mbonchu, has said that the construction of low-cost houses in different cities of the country is hampered by financial and land constraints. The constraints have significantly slowed down the execution of the project in Yaoundé, Douala, and other towns of the country. However, the minister told members of parliament that the execution rate of the project stands at close to 75%, and the houses that have been constructed or are being constructed should be noted are out of reach for the poor and low income earners. And this is one of the reasons why Minister Jean-Claude Mbonchu said there is need to accelerate land ownership and building reforms and the creation of the National Housing and Urban Development Council. Greater details in the following extract of Minister Jean-Claude Mbonchu of the Ministry of Housing and Urban Development. Take a listen.
4 years after the first rendezvous, what I can say, we have made a lot of progress. A lot of progress because we have many programs who are taking place in the field. We have Chinese 1,500 plot is very important. We have also the emergence plan for the head of state, who is carried on 8 head of region. We have finished in Ebolova 100 houses. In the other part, we are about 50%. It's very important. But we have also problem of finance. We have to tell that. The problem of finance is very important. The problem of land. The problem of land. And we use this
In the report coming up next, we take a look at the dropping rate of cocoa production in Loum in the Mongo division of the littoral region of the country. The production or the cultivation of that cash crop is facing several challenges. Thus, the production has been dropping over the years. And to boost the production of cocoa in Loum in the Mongo division of the littoral region of the country, non-governmental organization has offered over 20,000 cocoa plants free to some young people in the locality. Franklin Mwabe has the details.
The fall in the production of cocoa in Loum in the Mongo division of the littoral region has been a call for concern in that locality. The people of Loum are discouraged to cultivate the cash crop due to the excessive price hike of agricultural inputs and falling prices of cocoa in the market. The problem is further compounded by the bad state of the farm-to-market roads. The road we use to transport and plant cocoa is very bad. The impossibility for some to design nurseries because of the lack of training in the sector, and also to avoid unemployment due to the increased abandonment of the sector. Some seniors in the agricultural sector thought of reviving the cultivation of cocoa by distributing more than 2,000 free cocoa plants to above 100 young farmers in Loum. We realized that at a certain moment, people were discouraged and were not interested in cultivating cocoa. We, with the small training we had with Minade, we thought that the people should be concerned in producing and improving the planting of cocoa so that they should enlarge their farms. The people also solicit for technical as well as chemical assistance from the government.
Make government to help we, forgive we medicine.
We're calling on the government to help us with chemicals to maintain the cocoa plant so we can use the revenue from it and send our children to school.
Sponsor with children.
The gesture was greeted by the divisional officer and state personnel of that locality, who encouraged other persons to follow suit in assisting the agricultural population of that area.
Out of the country now, we continue with our series of reports on migrants, many of them from African nations. Hundreds of migrants have been rescued by the Spanish Maritime Rescue Services, and the migrants were taken to a makeshift structure that is where they are residing now in a migrant reception center in Tarifa. Courtesy Euronews.
Spain's Maritime Rescue Service picked up over 400 people from the Mediterranean Sea on Tuesday as migrants aimed to reach Spain from North Africa when the sea was calm. The rescue brings the total number of migrants rescued to 1,800 over the last 4 days. I knew that I could die, but God is up there. God knows that in my life so far I have never caused trouble. I think that those people who want to close borders to migrants are not thinking straight. Migrants are not coming here to do bad things. If you come here, it is because you are seeking a different life, a life that is better for yourself. The Spanish Maritime Rescue Service were assisted by Red Cross aid workers as the boat docked at Algeciras. Those who have arrived are in good condition. We are not seeing many cases of hypothermia or cuts. It's true that in the past few days there were many people suffering from burns, especially people from Morocco and Algeria, because they arrived in engine-powered boats. The migrants were given shelter at a makeshift migrant reception centre at the Tarifa Municipal Sports Facility.
Coming up, the smart side of the World Cup. We're going to begin the smart side of today's matches played as far as the 2018 FIFA World Cup in Russia is concerned, with the astonishing elimination of one of the world football giants, Germany, by Korea.
Yes, Babila, good evening to you. It is another astonishing day, as you put it, and it is another sensational day, I must put it that way. Surprises keep on streaming at the World Cup ongoing in Russia. Maybe I just want to tell you that it wasn't the day for the national Mannschaft of Germany. They were coming as defending champions and many expected them to do something great, but unfortunately it was a dire Mannschaft team that was humiliated. It was only at the extra time. They had 6 minutes of additional time that the referee gave them, but unfortunately, after playing a goalless draw throughout the encounter, 90 minutes plus, the national Mannschaft of Germany couldn't do otherwise, as they were beaten by the Republic of Korea, who were also doing that just for honors, because, you know, a win for the Republic of Korea would have not taken them to anywhere, because they have already started the World Cup competition very, very poorly. But unfortunately, it is the Mannschaft of Germany who are being eliminated from the World Cup out there in Germany. So I want to tell you, Mannschaft finished their group at the bottom with 3 points, as of course the Republic of Korea moved above them. Remember, they struggled to beat their opponent Sweden by 1-0, but this time around they couldn't do otherwise, as Mannschaft, the Korea Republic, trounced them by 2-0. And all 2 goals scored during the additional time of the game, and they missed many scoring opportunities. That is it. That is how, I don't want to say that is how the god of football punishes football, countries that don't want to score, because just like the Mannschaft, the South Korean outfit also had several golden opportunities. If there were people, if there were a team that shoot from a long range, it would have had so many goals. But the Republic of Korea will always want to get the ball right into the 16.5 meters box before the one who kicks. So, but unfortunately, I want to keep on saying that the Republic of Korean outfits outclassed the Mannschaft, and it was 2-0 final score. Now, another African side, Nigeria, leaves the competition finally, and there have been a lot of arguments concerning the elimination of Nigeria. Yes, the Super Eagles of Nigeria, they were die-hearted, they were so courageous, determined to pull down the team of Lionel Messi. Unfortunately, Lionel Messi opened the scores. Nigeria scored through a penalty thanks to Victor Moses, and Marco Hoho equalized, actually increased tally at the dying minute of that game. And I want to tell you that the game was a do-or-die game for Argentina, who needed 3 points by all costs for them to stay in Russia. And of course, the Super Eagles needed just a point for them to continue their adventure in Russia. Unfortunately, John Obi Mikel and Garnet Rowe were most disappointed as that goal came at the last minute. At the end of the game, after all, fair play is the key word of FIFA, and we had all of those things. And just to know that Lionel Messi became the first player to succeed in several dribbles in the history of World Cup. This far, Lionel Messi has a total of 107 dribbles, and he beat his all-star, I don't want to say his father-in-law, Diego Maradona, who had a total number of 105 dribbles in 1966 World Cup. So in 2018, we have Lionel Messi, who has created that record of the number of dribbles in a single World Cup, having 107 of them, beating Diego Maradona in terms of dribbles. Diego had 105 in 1966. So that is the situation with that match. It was unfortunate that the penalty, many people cried and many people thought it was going to be given to the Super Eagles for an equalizer. It did not come. Several photoshops have been showing when the referee went towards a VRA, that is a VAR machine, to check whether it was a penalty or not, what he saw and what he didn't see. Many people are saying that it is a way to kick Africans out of the World Cup. Well, we are just journalists. We don't want to say that it was a mistake or what, but just to know that Nigeria is out, and they have joined. They are the 4th African country to pack out of the World Cup. Hopes now are on Senegal, who have a do-or-die duel tomorrow against Colombia, because the group is very, 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 very tough. Senegal needs a draw. They don't even need a defeat, because if Colombia beats Senegal tomorrow and Japan happens to draw, or they are also beaten, we can see have Japan going alongside Colombia. But Senegal needs a point, and all hopes are on the Teranga Lions of Senegal, who will be playing tomorrow. Now we take a look at the classification table in Group D. Maybe before we take you to Group D to talk about this man, Diego Armando Maradona. He was on the pitch yesterday. Maybe at one point many people thought he was going to go off mental, but he was so sensational yesterday on the pitch when his team were playing. Maybe just for us to have this image of Diego Maradona on the pitch supporting the Argentinian football team, the Albiceleste. Yesterday it was a Diego Maradona that we saw all sort of jubilation, all sort of things. He was trying to talk to his players or to the guys that, oh boy, you guys should move on. And at the end of the day, Diego Armando Maradona succeeded, because we had Argentina that won, but we hear he suffered from a malaise because of all of this gesticulation that he was making in the course of the match. He has a malaise and he was transferred to the hospital. Well, we can't tell you what his health situation is now.
The emotions went too high.
Too much of emotion. But finally he won, and Maradona is going to face, or Argentina, they are going to face France in the next round of the competition. Now we take you to the table of Group D. After that match, Nigeria versus Argentina, and Croatia versus their own opponent of the day, Iceland. This is how the table in Group D looked like at the end of that game. It was Argentina or Croatia that remained top of the group with a total number of 9 points, even though they conceded a goal. Croatia went up that table with 9 points. And we have the likes of Argentina that moved to the second spot with 4 points. The table of the match, Group D yesterday, that is it. Croatia 9 points, Argentina 4 points, Nigeria ended on the third spot with 3 points, and Iceland left with a single point, and it was a point, historic points for Iceland. Remember, they pulled a draw, a dramatic draw against Argentina, and that will go into the history. I told you the coach of Iceland is a dentist by profession. He's not a football trainer, but a dentist by profession. So meeting an Argentina side and pulling on a draw was also a historic moment for him, and it is something he's going to keep in his record.
Smart Jikan Gabriel, the way to the finals is quite a tough one.
The road to the finals is tough. We already have some fixtures of the last 16 round of the World Cup in Russia. Maybe we'll see it. Already we have a situation where Uruguay is going to face Portugal, France is going to face Argentina, and the winner between these two, they are going to meet at the level of the quarterfinals of this tournament, meaning the winner between Uruguay and Portugal will play against winner between France and Argentina. And at the other level, you have Spain that is going to confront Russia, and Croatia is going to take on Denmark. So the winner between Spain, Russia, and the winner between Croatia and Denmark, they are going to confront each other at the level of the quarterfinals. And to note, today we already have two other teams that have qualified. We have the likes of Sweden, who manipulated everything. They were so sensational today, beating their opponents Mexico by 3-0. They top their group, and they have gone top of the group alongside Mexico that have qualified. So they are waiting for their opponents. That is the opponents that we are going to know in the matches that will be coming up later this evening. And of course, it's going to be tough matches, as we have the likes of Brazil that will be getting into the tournament. You also have the likes of Serbia. Serbia is going to take on Brazil, and of course Switzerland, they are going to take on Costa Rica. So that is the situation for this evening's game.
And today, the almighty Mannschaft of Germany joined the list of teams who have been booted out of the competition.
Yes, and it seems it is a historic something that is repeating itself. Any year a country wins a World Cup, the other World Cup, that country is booted out at the group stage. Now we are going to take you chronologically. In 1998, France won the World Cup. Maybe you have the images of France in 1998 when they won the World Cup. In 2002, France went to the World Cup again, and they were booted out of the competition. Yes, France went to the World Cup, they were booted out of the competition. And in 2006, we have Italy that also won the Cup. In 2006, we have Italy that also won the cup, but unfortunately, they were not actually doing well. But just for us to note that maybe we have the next image on the board, which is let us talk a little bit about the teams that are out of the competition this far. The teams that are out, we already know all of the teams that are eliminated. We have the likes of Saudi Arabia, Morocco, Tunisia, Peru, Costa Rica, and of course Australia, a host of them. Nigeria that also joined in the race, Iceland, and of course Morocco, and we have the likes of Portugal too, or Poland. I want to say that is also out of the tournament. Maybe for us to enter in the history book now of the past winners, Babylon, the history of the past winners, as we were talking about the past winners. In 1998, France won the World Cup that they hosted. In 2002, France was eliminated, and of course in 2006, Italy won. In 2010, eliminated in the group phase. In 2010, then Spain won in 2014. They were eliminated at the group stage. 2014, Germany won. 2018, Germany is out at the level of the group stage. So if you look at it chronologically, it is telling us that any team that will win the World Cup and comes back another year to win, that team has done
kicked out.
Yes, that not that he will be kicked out, but the team has done extra work for them to come back and keep the trophy. But it is a tradition. Either most of them, they are at the level of the group stages, and Germany became the latest victim to fall at the level of the group stages. So last issue here this evening, remember we usually go back to our record books to tell you who are those persons who have actually won the World Cup on several occasions. And for that, this is what we have for you this evening. The most wins at the FIFA World Cup: Brazil, they have 5 points, 5 times winners. Germany could have done that if they would have remained in Russia. They have 4. The same 4 for Italy, Argentina 2, and Uruguay 2. So who is going to be the champions of Russia 2018?
Let's wait and see.
A question mark.
Thanks, Smart Jika Gabriel. That was the smart side of the World Cup, and that's it for this edition of the Primetime Newscast on Equinox Television. Thanks for staying with us. Goodbye.